Bismillah.
I think that the sisters will send their questions through the email, but for the brothers, I need for whoever have a question, raise your hand, say your question loudly and clearly, please. تفضل.
Assalamu alaikum. Jazakumullah khairan for the lectures.
Barakallahu feek.
My question is, I have a wife who doesn't wear hijab, and also she's on those perfume stuff when she go out, and I've been telling her, but the imam is not there.
I don't prefer to talk about somebody's wife now.
Okay.
Advise that person to bring his wife and take an appointment, and we sit together to fix the problem, inshallah. Jazakallah khair. Question? Yes.
Assalamu alaikum. If somebody comes late during the prayer and there's only one line, and can the person pray by himself the second line?
Very good and important question. Because the Prophet ﷺ said, لا يقبل الله صلاة منفرد خلف الصف. The text of the hadith from outside, without asking the scholars, give us the impression that if you pray individually behind the lines, then Allah will not accept your salah. لا يقبل الله صلاة منفرد خلف الصف. But when we go deeply and we listen to Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah and such amazing genius scholars, you will find out that if there is no room in the last line, and you stand alone behind the imam, and you have the intention that you're waiting for somebody to join you in the new line, and nobody come, then your salah is valid, no problem at all. For whom the salah will be not accepted? For the person who have the intention to pray alone behind the lines. His intention is to pray alone, individually, behind the lines. That's the prohibited thing. But if the lines are full and you stand behind the last line waiting for somebody to join and nobody come to join, your salah is okay. No problem at all. You don't have to follow the weak hadith to grab somebody or to do things, not to stand by yourself. This is not authentic and no need for this. Pray behind the last line and wait for somebody to join. If nobody joins, no problem. Yes. Question? Yes.
Yes. When we sometimes we listen to the news, we hear certain allegations, because there are allegations against our Muslim brothers. What should be our response if we're asked, what do you say? Because sometimes you find brothers, they say, and these are just allegations, they say, oh, that person is a bad person, he's a terrorist, he's a this, he's a that. Some other brothers say, well, we don't know what happened. Allah knows what happened. We can't say anything about this. Because these are allegations and brought about by the unbelievers or the enemies of Islam. So
what about the allegations about the Prophet? Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam. What about the allegations about the Almighty Allah Himself? In Islam, if there is allegations, two parties, either to forgive each other or to go to a qualified judge. It's not a must to be a judge in the court, but a qualified judge. Or forgiveness. The door. Do you remember when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he has two parties. They have allegations, disagreement in business. Look at how the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is better than Prophet Dawood. Prophet Dawood, he listened to one, and when it's very obvious version, he committed his life mistake, and he made the judgment before he listened to the other one. وهل أتاك نبأ الخصم إذ تسوروا المحراب إذ دخلوا على داود ففزع منهم قالوا لا تخف خصمان بغى بعضنا على بعض فاحكم بيننا بالحق ولا تشطط واهدنا إلى سواء الصراط. Okay? Just we need the justice. And then one of them said, إن هذا أخي له 99 نعجة ولي نعجة واحدة. My brother, the other shepherd, he has 99 goats. He's very rich. And I'm very poor. I have only one goat. He asked me with pressure وعزني في الخطاب to give him my only goat, for him to have 100 and for me to have nothing. Then Dawood, it's very obvious. See how very obvious? Dawood said, that's injustice to ask you to give him the only goat that you have. Then he realized that that was not shepherds and case. They were angels, and it was test from Allah to teach the judge, the prophet, you have to listen to both parties no matter what. وظن داود أنما فتناه فاستغفر ربه فخر راكعا وأناب فغفرنا له ذلك. So Prophet Muhammad did not do that. When the two parties arrived, he said, أما إني بشر, I'm a human being, أحكم بنحو مما أسمع. I make my judgment based according to what I hear from both of you. فلعل أحدكما أن يكون ألحن في حجته من الآخر. One of you, he might have sweet tongue and he can have the nice approach. But hey, if I give you your right and you know that this is not your right, I'm giving you a piece of Jahannam. Take it or leave it. Both of them, they cried and they forgive each other before even the case mentioned or the versions of the two party mentions before the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So the door of the forgiveness first, and then the door of judgment. The judgment must be with two parties before a qualified judge. If not, then no talk. I don't believe. I have to have good guessing. And I say that's an obvious slander. If it's about Muslim, say that's an obvious slander. You don't know. You don't know, but that's what Allah commanded you to say, even if you don't know. Allah did not make it obligation upon you to find out. He made it obligation upon you to say, that's an obvious slander. You're not the judge. You're not qualified. Then that's your statement. You cannot go beyond your limit. Okay? Question? Yes.
Sheikh, some people, when they greet other people, they tend to bow down. When they are greeting other people, they bow down. Like they will bow down themselves in respect.
Okay.
And then they say they are doing this out of respect. So I was wondering, is this a shirk? Is this something prohibited or accepted?
Can you show me how?
They'll go like this.
Yes. Okay. Sit down. He's saying that some superstitions and some cultures, when they shake hands, some honored person or a person of Quran or an old man or something like that, they like they're not making ruku'. They're not making ruku', but they come down a little bit, like humbling himself while shaking the hand. The question is that